Hey guys, it's Justin Goodbread, Financially Simple. So I wanted to give you a garden update this week. As you see Rebel, our German Shepherd, running in the background. The theme of this garden update is you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. Well, that's a given, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sow corn and get green beans, am I? No, that doesn't happen. But in business, you know, one of the things that happens to us is we go through a period of famine, and so we as business owners just get out and hustle, try to drive the revenue, and all of a sudden it comes in, and it comes in fast, and we're just scrambling to figure out what we're going to do. You know, the way I look at it in gardening is the same thing. We have put down a ton of tomatoes. You can see them behind me. If we just planted these tomatoes and we didn't do anything, then we wouldn't get the yield or the amount of tomato sauce we like. So as you can see, it's real pretty again. We have spent some time in this last week going through the rows behind me, and we've gone through and weeded everything, and we put little valleys, little divots again by the tomatoes, so when the rain comes, it catches a water pool right at the bottom of the base of the tomatoes. We've trimmed the tomatoes this last week. We've added a fertilizer to the tomatoes. We've added more eggshells. Eggshells help to prevent bottom rot or blossom rot, depending on which way you want to say it. It's where the bottom of the tomato turns black and the rest of it will still be green or red. Eggshells are a natural calcium, and so if you put eggshells at the bottom of the tomatoes, you won't have as much rot on your tomatoes. We've been busting it. We've been working hard. We've sown. We're now fertilizing and cultivating the seeds, so to speak, that we've sown. So hopefully in the next 30 to 40 days from now, we're going to have an abundance of tomatoes come in that we're going to be able to use for sauce. So in business, we have a tendency to just push ourselves really hard, and then all of a sudden deal with the influx of clientele or the influx of new business we get. If I did that in gardening, we would have like a gazillion tomatoes come in at one time, and I wouldn't have the manpower to harvest them. I wouldn't be able to deal with the pure influx. So I'm having to plan ahead with my sowing and reaping concept. I know I'm going to have to deal with these things in the near future. So just keep that in mind in business. When you're out there busting it, go ahead and lay a plan of action to deal with the harvest, so to speak, that you'll have in business. Well, as you can see, I've gone through, well, actually our family has gone through, it wasn't me, and we've tilled up everything. We got the rows nice and pretty. Again, you can see the tomatoes are covered in blooms. There's some blooms right there coming in. We're spot watering the tomatoes right now as not to water the weeds. So you can see they're all looking great. The peppers, yeah, there's peppers just about on every plant. I love what comes off of this plant right here. Fried zucchini, oh yeah. And so we have our okra still coming in, it's coming up. We fertilized it this week, step over the okra. Our beans are coming in just fine. We're already starting to get a little bit of blooms on them. I'd rather them get a little bit bigger before we had blooms come in, but they're coming in nonetheless. And then we have our cucumbers. I still haven't staked those. Been kind of busy. All the onions are done, so we're gonna have to till that under. And here's the remaining beans. And remember that spot that we didn't do anything with? Yeah, we tilled it up and we put our bush lima beans through there. And then my corn issue. Let me tell you about corn. So all the corn we tilled under and we replanted this time. We're gonna try it again. I went down to the co-op, and the co-op tells me that a special type of corn can grow here in this nasty, rocky, dirty, sandy, whatever you wanna call this soil. So we'll see how this corn does this year. So we've got sunflowers coming in, corn, cantaloupe, cucumbers, everything's coming in. We went ahead and put my mind just went blank. The stuff that you put on the ground to drop the pH in the soil for blueberries. Anyways, the blueberries, since we put that on the ground about a week ago, they're now starting to flourish. We've just got to drop the pH in the soil down a little bit more for our blueberries. But everything else is coming in okay around the garden. Maybe this next time I'll show you the peach and apples and pears and strawberries and grapes and all those other fun jazz. But for this week, just remember, business owners, you reap what you sow. If you're going to get out and bust it and try to make business happen like we entrepreneurs do, be prepared for the harvest. It will come. If you don't reap, if you don't get out and bust it, you're not going to sow, and you're not going to reap the benefits of other entrepreneurs who do. So guys, that's it for this week. Make it a great day.